Damn, Kyle, you going off.
Hold on.
You need to leave.
Bruh.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Cam back with another YouTube video, and today we finna be checking out America compared. Why other countries treat their people so much better. Before the video starts, man, make sure you guys smash the like button right now and subscribe if you're new, because we post videos every single day on this channel, man. So subscribe right now so you never miss an upload. And why do they think other countries treat their people better? Let's see what they talking about, man. I actually want to see, because we just found out some other stuff, man. Let me be quiet. Let's just get straight
This
into it.
episode and others like it are made possible by the generous support of my patrons on Patreon. If you'd like to help me make more content like this, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/secondthought. I'm going to say something that will probably offend many of my viewers. Let me preface this by saying that I, as an American, include myself in the following statement. Americans are quite possibly the most willfully ignorant people on the face of the planet. We have access to the sum total of all human knowledge, yet our understanding of the world rarely extends beyond our own country. And even then, the majority of
That is kind of true, bro. That is really true, man.
Americans believe in a vision of the country that does not actually exist. It's not that we're stupid, we just tend to blindly accept that the US is the greatest place on Earth, and therefore don't see any reason to educate ourselves about the realities of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
In this episode, we're going to pull back the curtain on how America actually compares to other countries, and consider why the richest country on Earth fails to—
Maybe that's why. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they push it in our heads so much that America's the best. America's the best. America's the best. America's the best. So we don't look out and see, wait, Canada does this way better than America. This place does way better than America. And they don't want us to wake up and be like, I think I want to go to Canada. I think I want to get out of here and stop spending my money here. I think I want to stop giving my money to Uncle Sam. You know what I'm saying? They probably scared of that. You know what I'm saying? That's just me.
people with dignity and fairness. I'm going to provide a list of important topics, then for each item we'll compare the American experience with that of citizens from other nations.
All right, let's get it.
Hopefully by providing a side-by-side comparison, you'll be able to see the stark contrast between how most Americans see their country and how it really stacks up against the competition. To give you an idea of just how skewed the American perception of our country really is, let's start with a pretty shocking example. Compensation for what are considered low-skilled jobs. We'll take the quintessential American company, McDonald's. McDonald's is the world's largest restaurant chain by revenue.
Yeah.
It operates in over 100
eating,
countries and
bruh.
serves over 69
Stop eating this junk, bro. Oh my goodness.
million customers every day. As of 2018, McDonald's was the second largest private employer, with
I had to
1.7
stop
million
eating stuff,
employees, behind Walmart's 2.3 million. How many times have you heard someone refer to McDonald's jobs or workers in a derogatory manner? For some reason,
Yeah.
people who work at McDonald's are seen as inferior or lazy or have any number of other unfair and unkind assessments leveled at them. This probably
Definitely.
stems from the old notion of flipping burgers being a job anyone can perform.
Hey, bro, yes. I think a lot of teachers would say that, hey, if you don't do your work, you're going to be flipping burgers. You're going to be flipping burgers at McDonald's if you don't do this work. Okay. Like, they look down on it.
The animosity
I feel like they only do that for dudes, though, but we're not going to get into that.
low-wage workers has grown significantly in the past few decades. And in America, McDonald's workers really do suffer a low wage. As of 2020, the average crew member at McDonald's makes $9 per hour. The average McDonald's cashier makes $8 per hour.
Whoa.
The federal minimum wage in the United States is $7.25, a rate which has not been raised in over a decade, and
Well,
which should not
mate,
be considered a reasonable
since
wage for any
2020.
position, considering the fact that a full-time minimum wage worker cannot afford to rent a two-bedroom apartment anywhere in the United States.
Bro, Florida just became the most expensive state to live in the U.S., with their rent being like $2,700 for an apartment, man. It's like, what?
And can't afford a one-bedroom apartment in over 95% of U.S.
It
counties.
went up.
Now, the all-too common response to data like this is
The
something—
fact that it passed New York is insane to me.
well, yeah, it's not a hard job. You should just find a better one. Here's a simple question. Should any job, regardless of technical skill required, pay workers so little that they cannot afford to rent even the smallest place to live? Not to mention other necessities like utilities, food, and medicine.
Exactly.
Absolutely not.
They shouldn't.
That is inhumane and cruel, especially coming from the second largest employer in the richest country on the planet.
cruel.
Other notable objections include
gosh.
McDonald's has to make a profit. If they pay their workers more, they might go out of business. First of all, if you can't pay your workers a fair wage, your company should not be in business.
That's what I'm
End of
saying.
story. But again, McDonald's is not struggling to make ends meet. In 2019, McDonald's raked in $21 billion in revenue. But no matter how
I want to see that number today.
obvious the exploitation of low-wage workers, Americans are hell-bent on praising the very companies doing the exploiting. Take this article on Reader's Digest, for example.
Especially with
It's
Uber
titled,
Eats,
"This is
DoorDash
what
and
McDonald's workers really get paid." You see that and think, oh, nice. Finally some news showing how poorly these workers are compensated. Then you scroll down and nope, they're actually praising McDonald's, saying things like, the food chain is also great for paying their workers fairly, and McDonald's is one of the highest paying fast food chains in the United States. This level of sycophancy is insane. If $8 or $9 an hour is some of the highest pay in the industry, that doesn't indicate that McDonald's is paying fairly, it indicates that a massive chunk of the population is being paid poverty wages. This is where taking an international perspective is so critical. If all you see is feel-good stories about how well McDonald's workers are paid, you'll never know how badly American workers are actually being treated. Take the same company, the same position, but in a different country. Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark for doing the
He
same
ain't just touched that burger with his hand. I'm sorry.
the
I
same
analyze
position,
everything.
but in a different country. Here's
This why I can't eat this junk, bro. This why I can't eat this junk, bro. I don't care. if you
McDonald's in
watch-
Denmark. The
you
average
grab the
McDonald's
whole
worker.
burger. I'm sorry. I'm thinking about something else. Yeah. I heard other countries McDonald's be hitting though. Oh my goodness, they be having like wings and just some fire junk. I'd be like, God dang, they got that there at McDonald's in another country. Like what? I think I seen I can't even think of it right now.
Here's a McDonald's in Denmark. The average McDonald's worker in Denmark for doing the same low-skill job makes $22 per hour. Well, hold on, you hear Reader's Digest scream from across the Atlantic. McDonald's workers in America get paid vacation days after just a year of work. Wow, enticing. In Denmark, when you're hired at McDonald's, not only are you making nearly 3 times what you would make in an American Mickey D's, you also instantly have access to a full year of paid family leave and a pension. No slaving away for a year to prove your value to the company. You're hired and you're treated fairly. Simple as that. McDonald's can afford to compensate all their workers like this, but they won't, because US laws allow them to exploit American workers to the point where they're basically slaves, earning the bare
Wouldn't,
minimum to
like,
survive,
paying your
paying all
employees-
of their
Wouldn't paying your employees more make you more money as well? Because if you're paying people more, they're gonna be more incentivized to go to work. You know what I'm saying? If you barely making anything, you go, am I really gonna get up for $8 right now? Let me call out. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm making 20, going crazy, 20, 25, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna slide to work. I'm gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like you just go get them customers running in up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Most people, when they see McDonald's packed, it's like they either go in that line or they gonna be like, I'll go to a competitor. You know what I'm saying?
income and often going into debt just to pay rent, and having no way to escape this vicious cycle because they're working such long hours. This is the case across all of America's low-wage jobs, of which there are many. The plight of the low-wage worker is incredibly dire, and all you have to do to understand that is look at how those same workers are treated in other wealthy countries. Let's move on to another topic: work-life balance. Fair wages are definitely part of this equation. If you're paid fairly, you don't need to work a second job, which will free up your time to be spent elsewhere. But we're going to focus on other metrics, specifically the length of the work week, vacation time, and parental leave. Let's start with the US. Most Americans would say that 40 hours per week is full-time. That seems to be the general consensus.
Yeah.
But, in keeping with the country's exploitative labor practices, the hilariously named Fair Labor Standards Act does not actually define what qualifies as full-time. That's left up to the employer. Okay, why does this matter? Well, think of your past part-time jobs. Did you get any benefits? Healthcare, 401k? Probably not. Most benefits, when they're offered at all, are reserved for full-time employees. Companies don't want to provide benefits because they affect their bottom line. America is all about cutting costs, and providing workers with fair compensation is a cost. So, imagine you apply for a full-time job at Best Buy. You're offered the job, but they tell you they only have part-time positions, but they can give you almost full-time. They make it sound like they're doing you a favor, offering you more hours than normal part-time. But this is just another example of employers exploiting their workers. If you work 37 hours per week, you're essentially a full-time employee, but they don't have to provide you any sort of benefits. No healthcare, no vacation, nothing. This is a common practice. Companies will hire people, but keep them just below the threshold for full-time to avoid providing fair compensation. I've seen it happen. I used to work at Best Buy and they would do it all the time. And that's just the companies who are still trying to appear generous. Others will simply not offer benefits at all.
And then go over that 37. Hit 38 if you want. They gonna be pissed. Kick you out.
Or set their full-time position
Clock out for you. They gonna clock out for you while you still working.
at 50 or 60 hours per week. Sales positions are notorious for this. They'll often say, well, we expect you to work 40 hours, but all the top sellers are working 60 to 70 hours per week. This is coercion. They're trying to pressure you into working more hours to benefit them, and the compensation is never what they claim it will be. By allowing employers to define full-time work, American workers are held
It's shunned It's shunned upon to talk to your colleagues, like employees, like coworkers. It's shunned upon to talk to your coworkers about how much they make. I remember at my last job, they was like, "Don't tell them how much you make. Don't tell them how much you make." And I was like, "What you gonna do if I do?" You know what I'm saying? And then like once you start doing it, it's like, really, like.
by corporations, forced to either work absurd hours to qualify for full-time benefits or find a second job to help cover the cost of things like health insurance. Both of these options lead to a terrible work-life balance, and as real wages have decreased and benefits have been offered less and less over the years, huge numbers of American workers have developed an unhealthy work-life balance. For example, in 1960, when workers had real bargaining power, only 20% of American women worked. Today, 70% of children live in households where both parents are working full-time. Where does all this lead? As of 2020, over 85% of American men and 66% of women work more than 40 hours per week. We work 137 more hours per year than Japanese workers, 260 more than the British, and 499 more hours per year than the French.
It's like it's so insane comparing the numbers with other countries, man. It's scary too, man. It's like,
do other countries have such a better balance? Because many of them have laws that cap the length of the full-time work week. Companies are required to pay their workers fairly and allow enough time off for employees to maintain a healthy work-life balance.
yeah, I mean, my job, as soon as you would like be on the clock and you supposed to be on break, man, they be so heated. You're supposed to take a 30-minute break. They're like, okay, take my break. You know what I'm saying? But if you but it was like soon as I hit the age where you can go over that and not care. I mean, they still be like, "Can you go take a break?" Okay, but it wasn't like, "Take your freaking break. You need to take your break now, or we could get in trouble." Like, it wasn't as crazy after you pass that age. For me, at least.
Not the case in the US. Vacation time is a similar story. Whereas many other countries mandate that employers provide paid vacation and sick days, the US does not. In every industrialized nation, workers get more paid vacation days and holidays than in the US. Here's a depressing graph to illustrate just how poorly we treat our workers. France 31, Spain 34, Austria 38, America 0. 0 paid vacation days, 0 paid holidays. And remember,
they don't go for that. You said you want me to pay you for going on vacation to have fun? My money out of my pocket. No, I'm not doing that sounds crazy to them.
These are the mandated figures. Every Austrian worker gets a minimum of 38 paid days off per year. Even in the worst possible employment situation, they'd still get 38 paid days off. In the US, many workers are lucky to get Christmas or Thanksgiving off at all. And the odds that it's a paid holiday?
Man. I work Thanksgiving, bro. Literally, I work Thanksgiving. Let me pass this ad.
Next to zero.
Like, I work Thanksgiving, bro. After I did that, I'll never do it again because it's like, bro, I work. Like, I was like, okay, let me go to work. Let me go to work early and stuff like that. And I think I came in at like 8 something to like 5. I get home, I'm like, oh, finally, finna go eat some food. I get back to the crib, bro. I'm like, half the fam gone, cause you know Thanksgiving, everybody at the house, and they like, where's Cameron? Where's Cameron? He went to work, or yeah, he went to work. And I get back, half the fam gone. I mean, they got me. There's some food there, but it's like half the ham gone, you know, half the turkey gone. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, bro, whatever, bro. All for a freaking check, bro. Like.
Let's move on to our final comparison. Paid parental.
And then ask can you stay home for Thanksgiving? They be like, huh? You don't want to help the company? Come on, and make you feel bad for it, you know?
Leave. Many Americans aren't even aware this is a thing, so let me explain. When an employee of a company has a child, sometimes they're offered parental leave, a period of time where they can stay home from work to bond with and take care of their new baby. This greatly benefits the employee, the child, and, in the long run, the company, because the employee will be happier, less stressed, and more loyal to the company.
Definitely.
Of course, offering paid parental leave doesn't benefit corporations in the short term. And if there's one thing that encapsulates the American business philosophy, it's short-term gains over all else. So it won't surprise you to learn that the US is the only industrialized nation on the planet that does not mandate some amount of paid parental leave. This may be shocking to my American viewers because being able to get paid to spend time with your newborn child sounds like an impossible dream in our dystopian labor market. And honestly, it probably is impossible in our current America. We're so invested in self-destructive capitalism that even suggesting the possibility of paid parental leave would put US politicians out of a job. That's not the case in the rest of the industrialized world. In fact, every other OECD nation, and even in many third world countries, new parents are guaranteed at least several weeks of leave. Let's take a look at a few of them. Ethiopia, a country with an annual gross national income of under $900 per person, offers 90 days of leave with 100% pay. Madagascar, 14 weeks at 100%. Afghanistan, 90 days. Denmark, 52 weeks. Norway, 56 weeks. France, 16 weeks at 100% pay for your first child, up to 26 weeks for your third, on top of 104 unpaid weeks. Lithuania, 52 weeks at 100%, plus an additional 52 weeks at 80%. Again, the United States does not mandate a single day of paid parental leave even for the mother, and the father is never considered. This means that workers in America have to choose to either pay the exorbitant cost of childcare.
You said you having a baby? Yeah, I just wonder if I can get some time off. Well, you didn't have the baby. She did. You're going to go to work. Are you kidding me? And that's how they look at it, bro. That's how they look at it.
Or have one parent quit their job in order to take care of the child. These are both bad options, which often lead to economic precarity. But that doesn't matter to the companies employing American workers. Profit is the only thing that matters. Hopefully, seeing these labor practices compared like this has made it clear that not only is the US not living up to its claim to being the greatest nation on earth, but also that it consistently ranks poorly and often dead last in terms of labor metrics. Why is it that the wealthiest, most powerful nation on earth can't pay their workers a fair wage, or provide healthcare, vacation time, or paid parental leave? You should realize by now that it's not that they can't, it's that they won't. Everything in America is beholden to the almighty dollar. Profit is the only motivator. If an action does not produce a greater profit, it will not be considered. Over the last few decades, Americans have watched as our livelihoods, our quality of life, and our dignity have all been stripped away by those who already make obscene amounts of money. Those in power say we're all in this together, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The ultra-wealthy and the world's largest corporations rely on Americans remaining ignorant. They rely on us accepting the lie that America is the greatest nation on earth, that it couldn't possibly get any better. All you have to do to shatter that lie is to take a look around the world. Other nations take care of their citizens. Even impoverished nations, or nations that we've bombed into oblivion, take better care of their people than the US does. American workers need to relearn the language of class struggle and work together to break the wheel of the capitalist machine. If we want to claim that the United States is the greatest place on earth, we need to make it that way. I mentioned at the beginning of this video that this kind of
I think America can do it, make it that way. You know what I'm saying? I think they could. You know what I'm saying? Just make some changes. But yeah, man, let me know how y'all felt about this video in the comment section below, man. Got pretty sad at the end. I'm not gonna cap. But yeah, man, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you felt about this video in the comment section below, man. Do you work or do you live in another country where you're looking from the outside looking at you like, wow, like I'm so lucky, or like how do you feel? But yeah, man, and if you live in America, let me know how you feel as well, man. This is insane. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, because we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, man, and I can really help to get there. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace.